What up, guys and girls? What's going on? So, today we're gonna do an album review. It's probably gonna be the quickest one, and I'm gonna try to break it down as fast as I can. So, 2018 was, it was a iffy year for metal, but we knocked the top 10 list out. Yeah, all of that shit. So now we come back to you with another album review. The fucking best album of 2018. Spoiler alert. Obscura, Diluvium. Now this album is just a monument in my eyes. Like, this is the end all be all in 2018. After all the disappointments from D-Mew and bands that I love so much, this album right here made up for it. So, before we get into the album review, let's just give you a little history lesson, of course. Obscura is a German technical death metal band founded by guitarist Stefan Kummer in 2002. The current lineup includes pretty much the same people that's been there for the longest. And as you guys know, I'm not a huge tech death fan. I really like melodic and conventional death metal, but these guys do it just right. When you think of technical death metal bands, you think of probably Rivers of Nihil, Arsis, Gore Guts, and all these other bands who do it pretty well. The thing is, Obscura stands out. It doesn't sound like every fucking tech death band that you hear, so generic, boring, nothing original. And that's the thing with these guys. They manage to do it better than every album. I mean, they had a 4 album cycle, and people were wondering, like, what the fuck is next? And then the 5th album, they came out with this masterpiece right here. Oops, give me 1 second. Struggle is real. Damn. It's the inside of it. And of course the back. But Diluvium is one of those albums that take, all the inspiration, all the influences from their past 4 albums, and this is like the final chapter. They put it all in here. So why is this album so great? It's like the end of a chapter. Like, you finally get to the end. It's like the end of your favorite TV show last season, right? The season finale. This is what this album is and always has been. And Stefan Kummer is a really great vocalist, and the guitar work in this album is great. They had to record the bass and the guitar separate from everything else because they wanted to make this as perfect as possible. And that's what you get with a record like this. So let's get into the fucking tracks. So track number 2, Emergent Evolution. For this being the second track on the album, you already know this has potential to be something great. It's a lot of clean parts in this album, and in these songs, it's like a pattern. They tell a story from each track. Some tracks are heavier than others, some tracks are cleaner than others, but one thing you'll know, it doesn't get boring at any part. Number 3 is Diluvium, the title track, and it's by far one of my favorites on there. It starts off with a classic Obscura riff that you hear played from the beginning to the fucking end, and maybe into the last track. But this riff is like common throughout the album, so you'll have to listen out for it. But it's like fast paced from beginning to end, and they took the inspiration from Infinite Rotation, their 2009 album, and they threw it into this, and it's like the finish of that riff. It's like an ongoing riff that they put in this song, and like I said, it tells a story. Across the 7th track on this album. After that, you understand the real meaning of progressive, technical. They got a killer solo, and each track is fucking layered to perfection. Now, the thing is, when you're playing tech death, you always want to have it layered, right? I mean, some can be raw and unconventional. I mean, like Defeated Sanity, which isn't bad, but these guys do it just right, and a lot of bands can't do it as good as Obscura. So, that's what I think about track 7. Track 10, An Epilogue to Infinity. Definitely one of the heaviest records on this album. You expect nothing less when you listen to this. The vocals are crisp, the mix is crisp, and it's very harsh, and it's definitely the heaviest track on here. And of course, they had a bonus track, Last Farewell. But what makes this album so great, in my opinion, is they don't hold back. They give you everything they got, and it's not like they half-assed. They went all the way with it, and they said, this is what the fans want, this is what they're gonna get, and they got it. So, this album is definitely perfect. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. And of course, Relapse Records, baby. They always give you the best. So, yeah, I'll definitely, if I were you guys, I would pick up this album wherever. Get it as soon as possible because you never know when Obscura might drop another one. Tech Death Guys, in my opinion, absolutely perfect. I really don't know what else to say, but I love this album. I hope you guys enjoy this review. Definitely be doing more in the future. And most importantly, stay metal. I'll see you guys later.